You're soaking that in. I'm going to pass back your quizzes. And we need to go over a lot to prepare for tomorrow. I know she's not here, but I'll pick it up after class. Again, this is a second quarter grade, not a third quarter grade. That'll be the first grade of the third quarters tomorrow. All right, here we go. Change some stuff if needed, please, because we are going to see this stuff coming once again tomorrow. And this is only the first half of the unit. Remember, this is the first half of this is up until mid-segments. Does not include mid-segments, what we're about to review now. All right, so mid-segments and dilations were not on this quiz. Everything else was fair game, though. All right, I'm going to start with number one. If you got this stuff right, just be patient with me, please. All right, because I know a lot of people need to copy down correct work here. First thing, the triangles are similar. What do I know about the corresponding sides then? They're in the same ratio. They're in proportion. So I could say 3x minus 2, which would have corresponded with the 2x. Well, look at the similarity ratio, the similarity statement. It'll tell you what sides match up. 3x minus 2 over 2x is equal to 25 over 20. You solve that. You end up with x equals 4. What's my scale factor? That is the ratio of two corresponding sides. And I asked to write the scale factor of triangle ABC. So I needed ABC first to DEC, which ended up being 5 to 4. I understand if you did 4 to 5. I get it. You just didn't read the directions carefully enough. I don't know where other numbers other than 5 and 4 came from. All right, that I wasn't too, I had no idea actually where they came from, those numbers. Bella.
On the tomorrow,
yep.
Will you take off for 25 to 20?
As long as it's in the right order, no.
Okay. So
nope.
It doesn't matter if it's simplified or not?
No. Nope. As long as it's in the correct order. All right. All right, we all good here? Going. Okay, I don't have any issue with number 2, which was a Regents question, by the way, old Regents question. Number 3, why were these triangles not similar to each other? Well, it can only be one option. If we go through right now, all the different options in proving triangles similar, angle, angle, side, angle, side similarity, and side, side, side similarity. If anything, this would be side, angle, side, because that's the only information I'm given. If it's side, angle, side, what do I have to know about the sides? They're in the same ratio. They're in the same ratio. All the corresponding sides are in the same ratio. So I'm going to check here. Is 18 to 45, 18 to 45, the same ratio as 15 to 36? And if you either, 1, cross multiply, the numbers won't be equal. When you cross multiply, the means and extremes won't be equal. Or if you reduce, it won't be equal either. So what can I say about these two triangles? They were not similar. Okay? You could automatically get rid of those two. See you later. No chance. The only other option would have been side angle side, choice 2, but it's not because the sides are not in the same ratio. We're all right. Okay, moving on. Number 4. Don't feel bad. A lot of people got this one incorrect. Okay, first thing I'm going to mention. When you write a proportion, you have to have full sides of a triangle. You can't have part of a side. You have to have full sides of a triangle. So that 8 cannot appear in any of your proportions. It's not a full side. BC is not a full side of triangle ABD. It's BD. So if anything, 12 should have appeared in there, not 8. All right. Next thing. What are the corresponding sides? Well, if I take X, some people just said, oh, flip it over, it's 6. The angles have to match up. The right angles need to match up, and angle A and angle ECD need to match up. So if you match up X, if you turn those triangles around so those angles fall right on top of each other, X would match up with 4. All right. And what's the other side that I know in triangle ABD other than X? Not 8. Full side BD, which would have been 12, which would have matched up with your 6. Full sides only, angles on top of each other to see what sides correspond. Questions there? Okay, watch. It's going to be all coming back tomorrow too. That's why I'm going over this almost question by question here. Woo! Here we go. Factor quadratic formula time. Number 6. I saw some interesting things here. All right, that's parallel. Got it. AM is 4. MB, x minus 3. MN is x plus 1. And BC is x plus 4. This is not an application of the side splitter theorem. Not an application of the side splitter. That would need to be these two over here on AN and NC. Not side splitter. So let's take both triangles. I'm going to take the x plus 1 first. I'll do the easy way out. And I know that corresponds with BC, which is x plus 4. Equal to, take the 4. 4, I'm going to add to what other side to get AB? X minus 3. I tried warning you guys, don't put this in the proportion. You don't know how to handle it. All right, I had some people just put this all there and they had no idea what to do. Shocker, because you never did it before. That's why you didn't know what to do. Simplify the darn thing off to the side. X plus 1. Then plug it back in. Everybody good there? Okay, there it is. You're at this point tomorrow on the test. Do you know how to do it or not? I'm getting fired up because we've done this for 3 darn weeks. All right, and I still have people that don't know how to multiply because they don't want to come in and get extra help and don't know how to factor a quadratic formula. I don't know. In an honors class, I don't have a solution for that. X squared plus 2x plus 1 equal to 4x plus 16. That's what you get when you end up cross multiplying. Move everything over, get it equal to 0. X squared minus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Two numbers that multiply to 15 but add to negative 2, that would be 5 and 3, minus 5 and plus 3. X equals negative 3. X equals 5, but what does this problem contain? A diagram, side lengths. And if I plug negative 3 in here, that's okay. Ooh, not okay there and not okay there if I plug in negative 3. So that's got to go. And that's why 5 was it. Whew, questions so far. All right, here we go. Big 7. These were parallel. Could I use side splitter here? You're darn right I could. I could use side splitter here. That's what I did. You don't have to. You can still match up the corresponding sides, but you can use side splitter here, so that's what I did. Oh boy. Remember when I've been telling you all week I got nervous because very limited right here. I saw some interesting things when you multiplied 2x minus 1 by itself. Everyone ready? We're going to do it all together here so everyone sees where it's coming from. 2x times 2x. Not 4x. 4x squared. 2x times negative 1. Negative 1 times 2x. Negative 1 times negative 1. There it is. Combine your like terms in the middle. What do you end up with? Negative 4x plus 1 equals 10. Move the 10 over. 4x squared minus 4x minus 9 equals 0. You could not factor it. Plus, by the way, anybody, little tip for tomorrow, look at the directions. How do you know before you write anything pencil to paper that you're not going to be able to factor? Simplest radical form. Automatically, I'm probably going to have to use quadratic formula here. So it ended up being x equals 4 plus or minus underneath the radical, storing everything in my calculator. I got 160 all over 8. All right, let's keep going since we have a couple days of practice with this already. 4 plus or minus. When I broke down 160, I have 4 radical 10 it broke down into over 8. Can I get your help now? That 8 belongs to both sides, as you know. 4 over 8. 1/2 plus or minus 4 over 8. 1/2. Are they both over the same denominator? Okay, so I'll accept that. Or I'll accept 1 plus or minus radical 10 over 2. Actually, I shouldn't have said that because I won't accept it. Diagram. You better go into your calculator and see 1 minus radical 10 over 2. I believe that should give you a negative number. Yeah, pretty positive it gives you a negative number. And you cannot have a negative number if you look back at the diagram. Sorry, go back down here. If you look back at either one here, I can't plug in a negative number. That'll give me a negative side length. So the only answer that needs to be accepted, 1 plus radical 10 over 2. Yep. You got to accept both. Have to accept both. There's always 2 answers. Always 2 answers. And I don't think I'm going to say much about the proofs. I threw in a little linear pairs, huh? Supplements of congruent angles are congruent on you. Some of you guys picked that up nicely. Some of us struggled a little bit, but all right. 2 proofs on there tomorrow. Angle, CSSTP, product of the means equals product of the extremes. Anything there would be possible. All right. So please don't let lightning strike twice. If you could get out your packet now with the calculator for me, please, because we're reviewing right up to the bell. Packet with the calculator. We're into the second semester. You guys know how I do test review. If you start looking on page 32, you'll see textbook problems, which I suggest, and then you'll see all the additional questions, which I'm suggesting. All the answers are at the end of the packet. Okay, all the answers at the end of the packet. Yes, Bella? Sure, 1 second. All right, so whatever we don't get to, whatever you decide to do on your own, all the answer key to the textbook and to the packet are all in the back. All right, I'm going to start out with number 4 on the additional questions that I provided you. All right, again, have a calculator ready. Check out number 4 on the additional questions. I'll give you a second, read through it. Okay, so perimeter of the model sailboat. So you have a small sailboat and an actual sailboat. They're both in the shape of a right triangle. And I give you this, what's this scale factor represent? 1 to 32. What's that telling me, 1 to 32? That's the ratio of what? The corresponding side. So whatever this is and this is, it's 1 over 32. 1 over 32, 1 over 32. All right, and it tells me the base of the actual one's 8 and the hypotenuse 13. All right, what do all three sides here add up to? Well, I know this is why I'm reviewing now. Whatever the ratio of the sides are, that's the same ratio the perimeters are in. So if the sides are in a ratio of 1 to 32, guess what ratio the perimeters are in? 1 to 32. So I at least know the perimeters are in a ratio of 1 to 32. I just need to know which one we find in the perimeter of? The model, right? So where should I put my x here? Where should I put my x? Model actual here. Where should I be putting, nope, don't answer. Where should I be putting my x? Of course, it doesn't work. Go ahead. Top, why? The model's the smaller one. It should go with the smaller number in the ratio. Yes? So that means, how do I find the perimeter of the bigger one, the actual one? Well, 13 plus 8 plus, I'm not there. I don't have it. Can I have it, though? Can I have it? How? Pythag. What's it going to look like? A squared plus 8 squared equals 13 squared. This is not going to be a pretty number, so we're going to keep it underneath the radical. You don't need to break it down either. There's no need to break it down. $105, are we getting square root of 105? So that third side is the square root of 105. All right, so how can you express to me what the perimeter is? Can you add up all three? I don't want a decimal. Can you add up all three of those? No. Which two can you add? 13 and 8 gives you? So it's 21 plus square root of 105. That's the perimeter of the actual sailboat. How do I solve that now? It's a proportion, cross multiply, so ready? 32 times x, 32x. 21 plus the square root of 5 times 1 will just be 21 plus the square root of 105. How do you guys want to solve for x? X will be the perimeter of the smaller one. So how we want to get x by itself? Divide by 32. I'm going to give you the rounding directions, nearest hundredth. Yes.
I believe your calculator is dead.
Is it? Get the charge going. And we're looking at nearest hundredth point. 0.98 meters. Yep. 0.7, it was at 0.976. Rounds up to 0.98. Yep. So 0.98 meters for the actual, or the model, excuse me. Whatever the ratio of the sides are, that's the same ratio the perimeters will be in. All right, same ratio the perimeters will be in. Questions there? Yep. I would keep it as a radical because I don't even know if you turn into a decimal, you better keep all the decimals. Don't round it yourself. We don't round anything until the end of the problem. Okay, so don't round. If you do take radical 105 in your calculator, write out the full calculator display. Okay, because we don't round anything to the end. Other questions? All right, I got time for at least one more with you, and that's going to be number 3 right above. Practicing to see if two triangles are similar or not, and why. Quick review with me. What's the ways to prove triangles similar? Angle, angle. Side, angle, side. Side, side, side. All right, well, if you take a look at diagram A, it could only be what? If it could be, it could only be side, angle, side. So let's test. These sides should be in the same ratio. So the 3 and the 7.5 should be in the same ratio as 4 and 10. Are we okay on testing if that's the same ratio? You either cross multiply and see if they're equal, or reduce them right in your calculator. And what do we find out? They are the same. If I just cross multiplied, 30 would equal 30. So yes, those sides are in a ratio. Write a similarity statement if so. Triangle. Who wants to start it off? Triangle. ABC, fine. Similar to? Similar to ABC and DEC. Now, when it says using a theorem or postulate, that's what I'm looking for right here. Don't tell me the sides are in a ratio, because that's not true. You don't know about the third pair. All right, so by side angle side similarity. That's what I'm looking for when it says a theorem or postulate. Okay, let's go over to B. Same thing here. What could it only be if it is? Why? Where's the angles? Vertical angles. All right, well, let's test. Go ahead, start with anybody. Start with the side. 5. What do you think the 5 corresponds to? All right, maybe. I heard somebody say 9. We're going to have to test both. So is 5 over 8 the same ratio as 6 over 9? And some of you are finding out quickly by cross multiplying, is it? Nope. Okay, you guys that gave me that ratio, all you did was flip it over. Couldn't I also turn it so the vertical angles still match up? All right, in that case, what would the 5 match up with? The 9, and now 6 would match up with 8. I have to test both ways because I don't know if it's being flipped over or rotated around. What about here? 40 equal 54? Nope. So bottom line, what about these two triangles? Not similar. Okay, yep.
So would we have to do both ways on tomorrow's test?
For you worked, I would do both ways just in case your first way doesn't work, but the second way does. Okay. If the second way does, they're similar by side angle side. Okay. Other questions? Okay. Ball is in your court now, everybody. Ball is in your court. What you want to do with all the practice and textbook problems for tomorrow. All right. First grade of the third quarter coming up. Start off on a go.